Let me quickly introduce the guest for today. Aditya, this is the group we call the Tagore, which is the ninth and the 10th graders, and the Mandelas, as in Nelson Mandela, which is the sixth and the to seventh and eighth essentially. So this is the large number that you find them. Hopefully they'll behave well and talk to you. I really hope so. Aditya is the the entire work that they do, especially with Mun, right? All of you are aware of Mun, Model United Nation. He is an award-winning person with international debating skill at the World Scholars Club. I would love to know more about that, Aditya. But there are some wonderful people out there who will be talking to you. Not going too into it. Omir Kumar is into political science. Well, I don't know how much. Omir, both of you in Delhi, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
I can understand politics runs in your veins. I don't know how close you are to Rashtrapati Bhavan and the Parliament, but they are some amazing people. Both of them are great debaters. I don't know how much they influence with what is it, the Great Debate Society, Denzel Washington. What movie was that?
Yep, yep, yep.
The
The
Great
great debate.
Debaters, right? Yes. They,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
very active in the debating circle in the Delhi UN circuit. Fantastic public speakers, guys. The floor is yours. It's over to you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, sir, for that beautiful introduction. Okay, hello everyone. First, a small request: keep your cameras on because this is not going to be a teaching session. I'm not here to teach you something. I'm just here to interact with you guys, and it's much easier to interact with people on screen rather than just a black screen, right? So, okay, so back in
Right.
2014 is where I started debating. This journey began. I started with World Scholars Cup. It's an international level debating tournament. I was fortunate to represent my country at the Yale University. And for the win a few awards and to teach debating to kids. Subsequently, we also realized that there's a huge history that's lying behind us that no one is talking about. What I'm talking right now about is that when we read history in our school books or up to till class 12 to be precise, we read about the history till the time of independence. We read about the history of the Mughals, we read about the history of the Magadha Empire, we read about the history of the colonial period. But from 1945 to 2021, there has been a huge time period that actually impacts your life every day, that actually impact what's happening in the country right now. But no one is talking about it. And that's where the idea of Chanakyanati came. So Chanakyanati is basically a 14-session workshop program where we talk about a lot of things that Omer will go on in detail with. But before we do that, I need you to do a small thing for all of you are requested to rename yourself right now by using the name of your favorite politician. Whoever your favorite politician is, please rename yourself using that politician.
Indian politician out there or across the
Not
world?
necessary, not necessary. Any political leader, any political thinker for that matter, right?
Fantastic. Only person you will probably just see, Shabana ma'am, is the Tagore teacher. She takes business studies. Rest of them all students, including me.
Sure, sir.
Just putting
Any
it out
one
there.
politician or any one political figure that you guys admire. Okay, I have Obama. Okay, hi, Mr. Barack Obama. Can you please turn on your camera? How are you? Okay, so why is it that Barack Obama is your favorite president instead of political figure instead of Donald Trump?
Because he is very kind and um, he um, he he gives charity and I love to do charities.
Okay. Uh, do we have? Okay, Justin Trudeau. Hi. Can you please? Okay, what makes him your favorite?
I heard him saying that he'll help India to develop more.
Okay, how do you think he has helped India?
I don't know. I heard him saying.
Okay, right. Do we have anyone else who has renamed themselves? Omer, please let me know if you can find someone.
Uh, Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, tell me.
Can I rename myself after a person who has lived long, long ago?
Yeah. You can.
So I can just give them a little hint around. You can write them from people we've spoken about, from what's that lady in Finland? Oh, sorry, my camera's off. The Finnish Prime Minister, Sarah Marine, to people in New Zealand, to historical people who you like. So yeah. Oh, there Sarah Marine is already there. Yeah, Aditya, now you
Okay.
can read. Omir, you can read
Yeah.
some of them.
Yep.
Yeah, I can. King George the First. Okay, amazing. If you know about him, it's pretty much impressive right now. So I also like your sunglasses. So hi. Can you unmute yourself?
That's Muhammad from Lucknow right now.
My name is Mohammadi. I live in Nerul, but now I'm on a holiday in Lucknow.
Okay.
I am 11 years old. I like to eat everything except tomatoes and onions.
Okay. King George the First. I actually didn't really ask my question yet. So my question to you is, what makes King George the First your favorite, and what was his movement all about? If you know anything about it. Okay. He probably has some. He's occupied somewhere. Okay. Nelson Mandela is someone's favorite, and it's also my favorite. Hi.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I am fine, sir. How are you?
Okay, so Nelson Mandela was someone who was pretty much close to Mahatma Gandhi and who pretty much followed the ideologies of Mahatma Gandhi, right?
Yes.
So what is it that instead of Mahatma Gandhi, you went for Nelson Mandela?
I went for Nelson Mandela because he was an African, and I kind of love African countries more. And
What is it that you love about African countries?
like it is I don't know, but I just like I like just African countries.
Okay.
They
Uh,
seem very
to everyone else
ancient
who
and all.
right,
They
right,
seem
right.
very ancient and all.
To everyone else, yeah. Uh, just a minute, guys. Just a minute, guys. Am I audible now? I hope there's no echo.
Ah, yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Uh, yeah. So to all those, okay, I have Amit Shah over here. Hi, Amit Shah. Sir, our pretty dear Home Minister. Amit Shah.
Ibrahim.
Sir, Amit Shah is from BJP, and like he's a politician, and then he speaks debates, and he's the president of BJP.
I know who he is. Why do you like him is the question.
Because his debates are very supportive, and I just like him.
Okay. So the thing is that I can realize from you guys is that we form our political opinions on the basis of things that we hear from our teachers, our parents, or any adult that around us, right? They make our political opinions happen. How many of you feel so? Does this happen with us? Have I formed my political opinions because my parents told me that I should support BJP or Congress or whatever?
It's
Or
up to our will, sir. It's up to
right?
it's our choice.
It's up to
True, exactly. That's what democracy is all about. But now the problem is that we are not told about the history. So Omer will now tell you, with the help of a small PPT, on what we guys want to do and what we guys think we together can, and maybe we can make India great again. So Omer, over to you, man. You can.
Hi guys, my name is Omer. First of all, lovely backgrounds, each and every one of you. I support everyone. Awesome backgrounds. Yeah. So, okay, I'm not going to bore you with theoretical things, and I'm not going to tell you history. Don't worry, this is not a history lesson. So it's also feel free to interrupt me. Feel free to add any comment. Feel free to add any question. Feel free to say anything at any point of time. Right? We're going to have fun for the next 15-20 minutes or whatever time we have. Right? Okay. So the reason why we had this exercise was to simply tell you one thing, right? That each and every one of us has some opinion or the other, which is to say, and that someone chose Amit Shah, someone chose Malcolm X, someone chose Obama, and whatnot. Someone even chose Greta Thunberg, for that matter, right? Which goes to show that each and every one of us think differently, right? We have different opinions, we have different perspectives on the same thing, which is to say, I might have a different perspective on Amit Shah, or someone else might have a different perspective on Amit Shah. Someone might like Amit Shah for different reasons. Someone might hate Amit Shah for different reasons. There's no right or wrong. I can't say that Amit Shah is a bad person, or I can't say that Obama is the best person. It depends. There are a lot of factors, right? Which is to say, I might like pizza. My friend Aditya might like burger. He might have different reasons. I might have different reasons. But the important question is, how do you make these choices, or how do you make these preferences in the first place? How do you determine that Malcolm X is a better person than Mandela, or Malcolm X is a better person than Martin Luther King, right? Or how do you determine is Amit Shah a better politician as compared to Rahul Gandhi, or for that matter, anyone? In the status quo, that is to say, in the current scenario, you determine these things through television, what you see, through your parents, what conversations you have, or with your teachers, which is fair. We don't have a problem with that. But our problem begins when your opinions are only formed by the opinion of others, which is to say, the only reason I like Malcolm X, or the only reason I dislike Malcolm X, is because majority of people around me don't like him or like him, right? Or the reason why I support a particular government, or the reason why I have a particular preference in food, is because majority of people tell me that this is the best thing to do, or like you should support this person and whatnot. And there lies the problem, right? We don't want the same opinions to be circulated in the same group of people, which is to say, I don't want the you to form your opinions based upon my opinion. I don't want you to form an opinion just because I say that this person is bad or that person is wrong, right? What's the alternative world we espouse for, or what's the alternate, or what's the ideal world we want to live in, right? And that's a problem we are trying to solve at Concord Collective, and that's a problem that is there in every country. Someone talked about African countries. This problem persists in African countries. The problem persists in Western democracies. The problem persists in South Asian democracies, and whatnot. You name it. Now, what's the alternative world we propose to you? We propose a world where you only take in information, right? You only take in facts. You don't take in opinions. You only take in facts, information, and then determine or form your own opinions based upon the information you get, right? And how do you do that? Because that's the biggest problem, right? Because we live in a world, and that's sad, right? Sadly, we live in a world where every piece of information is biased in some way or the other, right? It is very difficult today to get information that is unbiased or that is neutral, because having opinions is a human tendency. You can't eliminate that, right? You can't, even if I am a journalist and I'm trying to make sure that my reporting, or when I write articles in the newspaper, or when I report on the television, is unbiased, still I'm bound to have some degree of biasness. We are trying to minimize or reduce that biasness, right? We propose a world where the reason why you like Obama is not because majority of Americans voted him for the presidency, or majority of people in the world like him as a person, or he's kind. Sure, he's kind. That can be one reason. We want you to determine who's the best politician or who's the best political leader based upon information. What does this information look like? This looks like that when Obama became the president, what was his contribution to the GDP growth of America? What was his contribution to social security schemes in USA? Were people uplifted? Were education programs expanded or not? These should be your criterias, or these should be your tick boxes whenever you want to judge a politician. That if this politician is bad or good, does he tick my check boxes of contribution to the economy or social welfare schemes and whatnot? That's the first thing we teach you, right? We teach you how to take in only information and facts, eliminate all biasness, and then decide for yourself. Now, why is this important, right? That's the important question. Why is this important? This is important because I'm sure everyone knows what a democracy is, right? Is there anyone who doesn't know what a democracy is?
Omer, you should define that. There's someone who just asked that in the chat.
Okay, I'll not. You can raise your hand if you want to tell us what is a democracy. Raise your hands and then come on. Yeah, come on. What is a democracy? Anyone? Okay, yes, we have Amit Shah. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Yes, Amit Shah.
Ibrahim, unmute and speak up, please.
Yeah, sir. Democracy is a form like just sir explained in the chat that democracy is a form of state where citizens elect the leaders among themselves of head the state, and where the leaders may come from political parties to elect the leader.
Yeah, makes sense. Good. Very. Anyone else? Come on. What is a democracy? We live in a democracy, so
Can I say?
raise your hand then.
Democracy is of the people, by the people, and for the people.
That's the beautiful definition Abraham Lincoln gave. Jacinda Ardern.
It is a form of a government.
Form for government. Yeah, makes sense. So, in the most simplest of forms, it is a government that is elected by the people, by the will of the people. Makes sense, right? Cool. Now, why is democracy considered the best form of government, or why do majority countries have democracy? Because it is very inclusive, right? It gives you an opportunity to tell your preferences, right? If I like this person, I will vote for him. If I dislike this person, I will vote for some other person, right? That's the basic, the simplest of example of a democracy is if your class has to go to a trip, the teacher won't decide that which is the destination. I'll ask everyone their vote, and if majority of the people are okay with an amusement park, we'll go to an amusement park, right? Everyone happy, right? That's the because I'm asking everyone their preferences, and then based upon majority, we are going ahead with the amusement park. Now, the problem in today's democracy is that the reason why I like amusement park is only because my friend told me to go to the amusement park. I have never been to the amusement park myself. I don't know what an amusement park is. Just because my friends group or my group told me to go to the amusement park, that's why I said to my teacher, okay, if my friends are going, I'll also go. Right? Similarly, in elections also, this happens. In families, not a lot of people are aware of what's happening around the world. Not a lot of people watch the news. They just hear from the other person that this is a better political leader, so vote for him or vote for them or vote for her. That's the problem we're trying to eliminate. How do we try to do that? We teach you how to decide your own preferences, right? I've already discussed that. Now, talking about history, like as Aditya started, right, his orientation with. Now, to be very honest, in my school days, I didn't like history. I scored extremely low, and history is boring, right? Is there history is boring because I have to learn dates, I have to learn events, and that's not interesting, right? It's very
To the
boring.
people
It's very
who disagree can raise their hands. To the people
Yeah.
who disagree can raise their hands. See, I
Okay.
told you, Omar, there will be people who love history. Okay,
You
yeah.
okay? Justin Trudeau, come on. You like history? Okay, you don't. Okay, people who don't like history or like who think history is boring, raise their hands. Come on.
Okay, it's between me and
What?
Omar. People who don't like history, raise your hands.
I am between both of you.
Okay, people who like history, please help me win from Omar. Yes, Alexander the Great. Okay, to the people who have helped me, thank you so much. Omar, you may continue.
So majority of people don't like it, but I'm sure you think there are some problems, right? It's boring to mug up dates. It's boring to remember 1857 revolt or when did India get its independence and whatnot. Because understand, history is huge. It's enormous. Imagine the number of events that can happen on a single day that you can learn is huge, huge. We have like three phases of history. Within that three phases, we have tens of events, hundreds of people, and whatnot. The reason why history is so boring in schools is because you just taught 5 dates, 5 important wars and events, and that's it. Just go on the exam and write. That's not the way we want you to teach history. Like we want to teach history. We teach you history through stories, through storytelling. The way I'll teach you how India got its independence is through a story. I'll tell you what was Mahatma Gandhi's childhood like. I'll talk about his stories. I'll talk about the times when Mahatma Gandhi cracked jokes. A lot of historic leaders had different personalities that aren't talked about in history textbooks, right? They aren't really talked about. Mahatma Gandhi's personal life is very, very interesting. The only reason, and this is very interesting, Mahatma Gandhi went abroad to practice law was because he was a failed lawyer in India. He didn't get much success. Now imagine a world where Mahatma Gandhi, now this is a what if thing we do, right? What if Mahatma Gandhi never went out of India to practice law, to study law? We wouldn't have been independent. Who knows, right? What if Nehru wasn't elected as a prime minister? We might have a different prime minister. Who knows? What if Indira Gandhi? Who's there?
There would be no Children's Day.
Yeah, exactly. There would be no Children's Day. Exactly, exactly. What if Indira Gandhi never passed away? Right? So there are a lot of things you can do with history, right? We can play here. We can like I can teach you a history lesson in 1 hour just by playing a simple game. What if? Right? And that's a very interesting way to study history as compared to I'm just telling you to remember these 5 dates and that's it. Right? Tipu Sultan. Do you know who Tipu Sultan is? Raise your hands if you have ever heard this name.
He was a freedom fighter.
Okay. Anyone? Tipu Sultan?
I have just heard this name, but I don't know who he is. I forgot. I was taught.
Okay.
Yes, I also.
You must have
I
heard
think
about.
I think he made missiles.
Okay. Anyone else would like to give it a try? Who was Tipu Sultan?
He was a ruler.
He was a ruler.
He was
Fair
king
enough.
of
Yeah, he was a ruler. That's the like.
He was the king of Mysore.
Yeah. Okay. Makes. Yeah. He was a king of Mysore. Yeah. True. Now, history textbooks don't teach you that Tipu Sultan was actually a very funny person. He still has like I can show you his like he used to write jokes. He used to make comic strips, and they are actually very funny that you will find funny even today. So these are the things that aren't taught to you, right? And now we'll tell you how we can solve all the problems that we have just mentioned. I'll just share my screen and we have something really, really interesting for you. 1 second. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can see the screen.
Okay, great, perfect. One second. Okay. Concord Collective presents Chanakyanati. We are from Concord Collective. Chanakyanati, because if you have ever heard the name Chanakya, Maurya, does it ring a bell? Chanakya was a Indian political philosopher. He's known for his multiple theories that are relevant even today. One of the greatest Indian political thinkers to be ever be there. He's internationally recognized by almost each and every country or person. That's because the reason why we have chosen this name is because the reason why we initiated this program is because we studied Chanakya heavily and we were really inspired from his teachings, and that's why. Now, this is a quote by Ban Ki-moon. Anyone knows who Ban Ki-moon is? Raise your hands. Anyone? Anyone who knows who Ban Ki-moon is? Aditya, do you know who Ban Ki-moon is?
Hey, Alfia man will be so disappointed. Come on, guys.
Come on, Ban Ki-moon. Any clue?
No, he has no.
South Korean politician.
No,
Interesting
he's
answer.
not a politician. He's not a politician though.
And he has no relationship with Neil Armstrong, anything to do with moon, right?
Yeah, he hasn't landed on the moon yet. Yet.
Okay, so Ban Ki-moon is the former Secretary General of United Nations, and that's the second thing that we cover in Chanakyanati. Well, Omer will talk about it in detail later.
Yeah, United
And
Nations is
Shashi
also.
Tharoor was under him as his understudy, perhaps? Was it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There are also many theories, guys. Like Shashi Tharoor was about to become a Secretary General. Like there are very interesting theories that we might have had an Indian Secretary General if things would have gone according to plan. But that's another word. Okay, but wait. The quote is important. You have to take ownership and leadership of tomorrow. For that to be possible, you have to strengthen your capacity and widen your vision as a global citizen. That's our motive. We want you to take ownership and leadership for tomorrow, which is to say, we want you to decide what your tomorrow will look like. We don't want your parents to decide for yourselves. We don't want your teachers to say that this is your tomorrow. If you want to become something tomorrow, if you want to do something tomorrow, it should be your decision. It's a free world, and this decision should only and only come from you and not from anyone else. For that to be possible, you have to strengthen your capacity, which is to say you have to work hard every day. If I want to become the president of United States of America, or I want to become a kind person like Obama, it takes a lot of hard work. Success doesn't come in one day. Lastly, widen your vision as a global citizen. We live in a globalized world, right? We travel to other countries, we watch movies and shows that are from other countries, we meet people from other countries. It's a blessing in disguise in this pandemic that we are getting to interact with people who are sitting thousands and thousands of kilometers and miles away through Zoom meetings, through Google Meets, and whatnot. Again, as a blessing in disguise, gives us an opportunity to interact with different people, get to know their stories and whatnot. Now, what is a global citizen? We don't want you to be only a citizen of India or whichever country you live in. We want you to be a global citizen. We want you to know what's happening in USA. We want you to know what's happening in Mongolia. We also want you to know what's happening in any other nation for that matter, Myanmar for that matter. That's also in news if you have recently read the news. But nonetheless, let's move. At any point of time, if you have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourselves and ask me any question or anything. If you would just want to comment on my amazing PPT skills, you can also do that. Took me a lot of time to make this. Thank you. Today's agenda: what is Chanakya Niti? Why Chanakya Niti? Benefits to you? Overview of the curriculum. These are the four things that we're going to cover. Okay. Now this is the basic outline of the program. It's a 14 session citizenship program created by Concord Collective to create politically. Can you hear me now? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Okay, created by Concord Collective team to create politically and socially aware citizens by focusing on 3 core skills. These 3 core skills are public speaking, writing, and researching. Now, as a lot of people were confused about who Tipu Sultan is, they were confused why they supported Amit Shah, they were confused or not sure why they support any particular politician, or they weren't sure who Ban Ki-moon is. We try to solve these problems. We try to make you a student who will definitely know these things, know the answers to these questions. We won't just simply give you the question and the answer. We won't simply give you a textbook and tell you to learn. We'll tell you these things through stories. We'll tell you these things through interactive sessions where you are also enjoying it. I'm also enjoying it. At the same time, we both are getting to learn something from each other, which is to say, you're not only learning from us, we are also learning a lot from you, right? That's like, I used to support Obama due to his policies. Today I heard that I can also support Obama, or I can also like Obama because he's a kind person, and that's such a beautiful thing to learn, right? Why shouldn't you like a person who's kind, right? You should like people who are kind. Kindness is a great virtue to have. Three core skills: public speaking, writing, researching. Public speaking, basically you're debating in any competition, you're going to deliver a speech in your school, in your class, that's public speaking. Writing, the like how can you better write your answers or for your examinations? How can you better write a thought that you have in your mind? How can you write anything for that matter? Basically, how can you put your thoughts on a piece of paper in a better manner? Lastly, researching. If you want to know something about anything for that matter, like if after this presentation or after this meeting, if someone actually wants to know who Tipu Sultan is, how can he gain that information in a precise manner, in a manner that is most efficient? That's researching, or researching on anything, right? Even if you want to
Okay.
research on your favorite restaurant, how can you do that?
Also, Omid, just a minute. Sorry to interrupt. There's another thing that I need to talk about with you guys. So, I hope all of you at some point of the day or week probably watch the news channel, right? Now, the media, the television media, the news channel media across the world, be it even the digital media, is biased to one wing or the other. So, if you watch Republic TV, you may get a lot of supporting content for Bharatiya Janata Party. While if you watch NDTV, you may get to watch a lot of things that support Congress or any other party or criticize BJP for that matter. The thing is that the truth lies somewhere in the between, and you cannot just follow someone blindly. So we also try and help you, make you understand how you can research and find out the right news. Homer, you can continue.
Yep, thank you. Philosophy behind Chanakyanati. Why are we doing this? Why are we spending so much time talking about these things and making you also realize the importance of these things, right? You can read it, things like fake news, political propaganda, socio-economic inequalities, political instability. It's imperative for the citizens of the country to be cognizant of their responsibilities and role in the functioning of the state. Chanakyanati seeks to achieve that by preparing your student to be the ideal citizen for tomorrow. Now, you must be thinking that why should I be concerned about poverty? I am just sitting here in the comfort of my life, enjoying classes on Zoom meeting and having great food. I have great friends. Why should I care about these things? Why should I take this additional burden to learn about these things, right? Why should I care there's fake news on the television? Why should I care that there's propaganda, right? I'll tell you why. You should care about these things because somewhere or the other, this is affecting your life. You don't know what it is, right? What your politicians do affect your parents' life, affect your life, affect your teacher's life, affect the domestic help life who comes to your home, affects each and every person who's living around you, right? And you should get to decide what does this effect look like. That's democracy. I have voted a leader to be in power or to sit in parliament to decide my fate or to decide my future, right? What if you, you're a politician decides that a student will have to give hundreds and hundreds of examination? They'll have to give an exam that is of 5 hours, has 500 questions. They can do that. They can do that through policies, and you'll have to abide by it. You can't help it, right? Would you want to live in a world where you have to give 5-hour exams? Anyone
No.
would like to live in that world? No, right?
No, sir,
If
thank you.
no, sir, exactly, right? Would you want to spend like 5 hours on exam? No, right? How can you, and how can you make sure this doesn't happen tomorrow, right? How can you make sure? You can make sure by knowing how things work, knowing what is the education policy, how you are affected by it, who is the person who makes these policies for you, right? Now we're just talking about leaders, but who is actually the person or the body who makes these decisions for you, right? The way you can do that is by knowing who are these people, what are policies, and then going ahead and deciding or like electing leaders that are more responsible, that won't force you to give 5-hour exams, right? And that will only give you exams of 1 hour or 30 minutes that are easy and not tough, right? That's
Or
a
no
world you,
exams.
or no exam for that matter, if you wish to live in that world, right? You can do that through these things, right? You can use your power, because a citizen has enormous amount of power. You can decide whether India goes to war tomorrow with some country or the other, right? If you elect a leader who wishes to do that, you can vote him in power, he will do that. You have so much of power. Your one vote has enormous amount of power, right? So you can do that. That's the philosophy behind our program. Now, what is this curriculum, right? This is the boring part. Now, what do we teach you, right? Because again, you should be thinking, why study some additional things when I already have so much of school burden? Why I have so much of academic burden, right? So you can read, like, these are 8 broad things we cover, right? Focusing on different political parties, political thoughts and regional parties of India, trying to figure out how local politics function, which is to say, if you live in Lucknow, Hyderabad, Delhi, NCR, we'll teach you how politics functions, who are your local leaders, why should you care about these things and what not. Then, like someone talked about Mandela, Obama, Gandhi, we'll teach you how did they learn the things that they actually wanted to do. What made Mahatma Gandhi realize that he wants India to be an independent country, right? Or what made Malcolm X realize he wants black people to be liberated, right? You should know about these things. If you like Malcolm X, you should also try to ask the question to yourself, why Malcolm X and why not someone else, right? And so yeah, then exploring important aspects such as the format of essay writing and their use in speech and debate. So as I talked about, how can you better write an answer? So if you're writing an answer for 10 marks, currently if you're getting 7, we'll try to solve the problem and we'll tell you why you're not getting a 10 on 10 and why you're only getting a 7 on 10, right? That's something we will do. Then understanding democratic systems, I've already talked about that. Discussing the basics of the UN Charter, right? Now, what is UN? Is there anyone who knows what is United Nations? Any rough idea?
It's a group of people that solve all the country's problems.
Yeah, perfect. Alexander the Great, would you like to say something?
They made the SDGs.
SDGs, yeah, great. SDGs, yeah. Anyone else? Anyone else? Jacinda Adum, is that okay? First of all, how do you pronounce your name? I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing it every time.
Are you saying? Are you talking to me?
Yeah. How do you?
The New Zealand Prime Minister. Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, I thought it. Okay, my bad. I thought this was actually your name.
Jacinda Ardern is now.
She resembles the Prime Minister now.
Do you want to be the Prime Minister someday?
I don't know that yet.
Who knows? Who knows? After like 20, 30 years, you're the Prime Minister, and we are, very eager to get your autograph. And I'll say, I was in a Zoom meeting with her. So
okay, right. So Omir and this, we almost done with the time. You want to wrap it up or you want to continue sometime?
So we need 5 minutes more.
Yeah, Aditya, go ahead.
Okay. So basically, United Nations was formed after World War II. Now, what led to the formation of United Nations was that this world wanted to prevent more wars, and all of us know how successfully we have managed to do that in the Middle East or in other places of the world, right? So, along with that, we developed Sustainable Development Goals as an objective of United Nations. It has diversified over the years, And we recently had last year Mr. Rajiv Chandran, who is also the head of United Nations India. And in his words, I will say that the today's generation is responsible for the world that's going to come up post pandemic, because we are the ones who can do that. Now, yeah, Omer, you want to carry on with why these
Yeah.
people
So
should
like,
care?
yeah. So we'll just wrap up. So like just like 5 minutes at max. Okay. So what are the benefits to you? Why you should take this program? Holistic development. It will teach you how to interact with other people in a better manner. It will teach you how to vocalize, to raise these doubts. We will teach you how to be a better confident person. So it will help you in your daily life. Critical thinking. If someone asks you a question, why do you like Malcolm X or why do you like this, you'll be able to give a comprehensive answer with a logical reasoning, so you know why you have a particular thought. Then public speaking, we have already discussed that. Analytical thinking. So if I tell you a particular problem, you'll be able to come up with a solution that's based upon concrete logic, right? And not just because someone told you to do this, that's why you're proposing that solution. Details of the program, right? These are the basic details of the program. Like, these are not important, we can discuss this. Basically, that's a wrap. One last thing before we go is that I'll just tell you my personal experience in 2 minutes. I was a person till 10th standard who didn't even ask a single doubt to my teacher, even though I didn't understand anything, right? I used to fail in maths. The reason why? Because I was too scared to tell my teacher, ma'am, I didn't understand this, right? Or can you please repeat the thing for me? Very small thing, right? Just didn't have the confidence, used to hesitate a lot. I took the session, I took Chanakyanati session. After a month, I saw the progress, right? I got a 98 on 100 in my maths exam because I was the most vocal student in the class. After every 10 minutes, I used to ask my teacher, can you again explain me this thing? Can you again tell me how it's done? Now that's the sort of impact this session had on me personally. Then I went on to international debating tournaments. I went to Australia to represent my college. I happened to become the vice president of the debating society of my college. I have done around 50 plus national debating tournaments across Delhi NCR. I have won 10 debating tournaments in Delhi University, right, of all renowned colleges. I'm I was also working with the Delhi government, that's the Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, before his elections. I got selected through an interview where I was able to vocalize my thoughts, as I talked about that why I want to work with the government, right? So basically, that's my journey with this session. That's I won't tell you that you should definitely do it. If you like it, you should. If you don't like it, then you shouldn't. No harm. But I would just tell you to experience it once. There's no harm to be done. Who knows, tomorrow also you might also become the Prime Minister of New Zealand. Who knows, tomorrow someone from the Zoom meeting also happens to represent our country at the United Nations. So good luck for that. That's it from my side. And thank you
Yeah.
so much. If Aditya
Also,
has anything to say.
just a information. So this is something special for us. Uh, Concord Collective 2 days back has launched our mobile app. It's now available on the Play Store, right? And if you guys join in, you will be the first among the first people who will use the Concord Collective app. And trust me, we have worked hard on it. We worked hard for almost 1.5 years on it, and we have tried to make it as good as possible. And we will love to have your feedback. So if you guys enjoyed this session, if you think Omer wasn't a boring person, if you think my comments were not that bad and we are a bit funny, can you guys, for 1 minute, unmute your mics and tell your parents that you have actually learned something today? So we will do that by a simple way. On the count of three, I need you people to shout
Sir,
as
one
loud
question.
as you can.
Sir,
Yeah,
whom
okay,
we
good.
have to tell?
Sorry?
Whom we have to tell?
You have to just shout as loud as you can. people tell you not to shout, not to make noise. We people tell you to make noise. We people want you to make noise because that's what we are supposed to do. Also, the name of the app is Concord Collective. You can, I will send the link to sir. He will help you download the app. So I need you guys to shout at the largest volumes that you guys may have. Can everyone please unmute themselves? On the count of 3. If you guys enjoyed this session, you have to shout. So 1, 2, 3, shout.
We
Yay!
enjoyed a lot.
Enjoyed it.
Okay.
Enjoyed your session.
Okay.
Enjoyed a lot. Thank you.
Okay, so we hope to see you at Chanakyanati pretty soon, and we hope you guys have fun, have a good day, stay safe, and take care. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Take care.
Bye, sir.
Love the
Thank
session.
you.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Omir and Aditya. Thank you so much. I hope there was a disclaimer at home. Nobody complained now, all the shouting. It was a lovely session. We really, really had fun.
But
I'll
parents
talk
are
to you guys
not
offline.
home.
Yeah, no wonder you can shout louder
Me
now.
too. Sir, me
Thank
too.
you once again, Omir and Aditya. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Bye,
Thank you.
For
sir.
sure.
Bye,
Thank you
everybody.
so much
See
for
you.
having us. Take care. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye, sir.